Hello everyone, we are Group 6, presenting the Greater Oceania area. Bit of a general description of Australia. They have a current population of 21.7 million people, total land area of 7.69 million kilometers squared. Current exchange rate of AUD to USD is 1.0 for every 68 cents. Right now they are the 5th ranked trading partner to the United States. A couple coming before them are China at number 1, Japan, Korea, India at number 4. And interestingly, the United States does have the highest direct investment with Australia compared to any other country in the Indo-Pacific, and this was valued in 2022 over $170 billion. A little bit more information about Australia, specifically in regards to their trades. You can see that Australia has a diverse import and export portfolio, but there's a few that we'd like to focus on primarily. For global imports, their total dollar value was reported at $292 billion. Of that, 23% were either machines or electronics, 15.7% were minerals materials, automobiles and parts took up the last 12.8% of the top three. Global exports were valued at $424 billion, 43.7% of those were mineral materials, 23.8% ores, slag and hash, and 4.65% were precious metals and pearls. However, this is on a global scale. U.S. specific imports were a little bit different, the top one coming in with edible meat, followed by precious metals and pearls, lastly followed by non-specific commodities. A bit more information about Australia's trading tendencies as well as their infrastructure.
Australia marketing. So when it comes to modern marketing in Australia uses various sources like digital ad spend, Australian dollar 13.9 billion in 2023, plus 9.5% year on year. E-commerce growth 15.5% increase in 2022, now 13.6% of total retail. Customer relationship management adoption, 60% of business use CRM, customer relationship management for engagement, as reported by CRM Benchmark Report 2023. Artificial intelligence in marketing, 45% of the companies use AI for targeting and personalization. Source from Deloitte AI in Marketing Report. Mobile shopping, it increased by 65% of Australian use mobile shopping purchases. Sustainability, 85% of consumer prefer eco-friendly brands, as sourced by McKinsey Sustainability Report, because nowadays everyone prefer to be more of sustainable and eco-friendly products.
New Zealand's general description: New Zealand is a beautiful island country located in the southwestern Pacific Ocean with no neighboring countries. It has almost 5.4 million people living on a land area of 268,000 square kilometers. The exchange rate is approximately 1 New Zealand dollar for 62 US cents. New Zealand is well known for its high quality of life, strong healthcare system, and stable financial environment. The United States is New Zealand's third largest trading partner after China and Australia, with whom New Zealand has free trade agreement. Trade overview: New Zealand has a robust trading system with total imports valued at $51.5 billion, exports at $46.5 billion. Its two major imports are refined petroleum $5.4 billion, followed by cars $3.94 billion, and its major key exports are concentrated milk costs $6.99 billion, sheep and goat milk $2.79 billion. New Zealand's major trading partners are China, Australia, the United States, and South Korea, highlighting its active role in international trade. About its infrastructure, New Zealand is going to spend $1.2 billion for the Regional Infrastructure Fund to support our regional economies to grow. This includes an initial investment of $200 million into flood resilience infrastructure. Second one is $408 million to upgrade defense equipment and infrastructure. And the third one is $140 million to deliver 1,500 new social housing places. In the trade agreements section, the United States and New Zealand signed their Trade and Investment Framework Agreement in October 1992. The TIFA Council is the primary mechanism of trade and investment discussions between the two countries. In 2022, two-way goods and services trade reached $13.8 billion. US exports of goods and services to New Zealand were $6.8 billion, up 22.7% from 2021, and US imports from New Zealand were 7 billion, up 20.7% from 2021. Modern marketing approach is all about digital growth. New Zealand boasts a 90% internet penetration rate with strong usage of social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram. E-commerce accounts for 12% of total retail sales, reflecting a growing online shopping trend. As you can see the bar graph besides this, it shows the digital revenue from multiple stuffs that has been steadily increasing year by year. And the second thing is data driven approach, in which companies utilize personalized marketing approach and widely adopt customer relationship management system to enhance customer engagement. And the other thing is sustainability focus. There is a strong customer preference for eco-friendly brands, with business emphasizing transparency in their practices. And the last thing is content marketing, in which storytelling and video content are increasingly popular, allowing brands to connect with audience more effectively.
Let's talk about Indonesia, its general description and association with the US. The population of Indonesia is 275.5 million and the land area of Indonesia is 1,904,569 kilometers square. The exchange rate of Indonesian rupiah to US dollar is 0.000066. Interestingly, Indonesia is the second trade partner of US. More information about Indonesia, its trade information and to West import and exports. So total exports are 240 billion US dollars. Palm oil accounts for 20% and coal for 15%, whereas textile is for 10%. 180 billion US dollar is for imports, where 25% is for machinery, followed by chemicals and fuels. Let's move to key trade partners. China is the largest export market, accounting for 27%, and the US is the another major export destination, receiving 10% of the total export. So, in the terms of import, China is recorded for 30% and Japan is for 10%. Let's move to Indonesia's infrastructure, trade laws, and methods of travel. Indonesia's large population and strong domestic demand is contributing to its positive growth outlook. So, with a population of 250 million, over 50% of whom live in the urban areas, Indonesia has a large domestic market and 60% of GDP is derived from private consumption. Then let's discuss about trade laws. The United States and Indonesia meet regularly under the 1996 Bilateral Trade and Investment Framework Agreement. It's called the TIFA. Under the TIFA, Indonesia and United States work to address bilateral issues and coordinate on regional and multilateral issues. So here methods of travel are waterways, roadways, and airways. Here is Indonesia's modern marketing. According to the data of 2023, 77% of internet penetration. It's strong on social media such as Instagram, TikTok. Then move to e-commerce, so 18% of total retail. In according to mobile first, 98% of mobile for internet. Then influencers drive brand awareness, video marketing, growing on YouTube and TikTok. So sustainability trend with eco-friendly products.
So for the Australia recap, they do have a free trade agreement with the United States for the benefit of tariff exemption. Some notable imports and exports are going to be their machinery and electronics, as well as their mineral materials. Their infrastructure and methods of travels are going to be urbanized, though they have extensive railroad network and major highways. And lastly, marketing. There's rapid growth of e-commerce, AI usage, and there's a focus on sustainability. So looking at New Zealand for the recap, they do have a free trade agreement with the EU. And their top three trading partners are going to be China, Australia, and United States. Some notable imports and exports, specifically refined petroleum and imports and concentrated milk and exports. Infrastructure, methods of travels. They do have flood-resistant infrastructure programs, a military defense equipment, and a social housing plan. Lastly, their marketing stresses the importance of CRM and marketing, as well as striving for continuous growth in social media usage and other digital marketing. So lastly, with the Indonesia recap, they do have a free trade agreement with the United States enacted in 1996. Some notable exports are palm oil, coal, and textiles. Their imports are machinery, chemicals, and fuel. Infrastructure, they are pretty modernized. They rely heavily on roadway and air travel, as well as waterways, because they are a key component to the geographical region. Lastly, in their marketing, they do have a strong social media presence. They have e-commerce, which accounts for 18% of all sales, and there's also a strong focus on sustainability.